Hello to my lovely subscribers and visitors. Welcome back to my channel. I invite you to join me in this video where I share the 10 reasons why I left medicine to be a stay-at-home wife. I worked as a doctor for the past 9 years. My last posting was in the emergency department. When I was about halfway through medical school, I was seeking to find out the best way to raise a family. Through that process, I was led to the world of homeschooling. Since then, I was convinced that when I had children, I would stay at home with them. So, I graduated from medical school, already knowing that I would leave the profession when I had children. The thing is, I very much expected that I would be married with kids well before I turned 30. However, that was not to be, as I got married in my early 30s. We are a few months into our marriage and there are no kids as yet, but here are the reasons why I chose to leave medicine. Number 1. My convictions grew stronger. Working with women who are wives and mothers deepened my personal convictions to stay at home with my children when I had them. I saw how torn those mothers were to leave their small babies in daycare after returning from maternity leave. I saw how worried they were at work wondering what their children were up to at home. I saw the distress and challenges to get time off to take care of a sick child. I also saw the toll of working a demanding job outside the home and being a wife and mother had on their bodies. They were often overweight, fatigued, and moody. Number 2. I was unable to be the type of wife I desired to be. After working a few months while married, I realized that my job would severely affect how I perform my duties as a wife, my mood, and how responsive I am to my husband. In other words, the job was hurting my marriage and not helping it, and to me, it wasn't worth it. For me, heading into marriage, I did not want an arrangement where finances are split 50-50 and chores are evenly distributed between husband and wife. I feel loved and cherished when my husband takes care of my material needs. In fact, it's a major turn-on. On the other hand, I enjoy managing my home and taking care of my husband's needs. Working outside the home, especially working shifts, severely drained me. While I performed all my domestic duties as best as I could, I knew it was not sustainable for the long term. Number 3. I wanted to explore the full gamut of what being a homemaker entails. I know that it is not just cooking and cleaning, but working to create a warm, nurturing home that motivates the occupants to be their best. I want to help my husband in achieving his life's work. I want our home to be the source through which others are blessed. Number 4. Preparation for children. Having children and a healthy pregnancy is high priority for my husband and myself. Being a stay-at-home wife has allowed me to get better rest, eat better, exercise, and focus on my mental and spiritual health. Number 5. Every day as I left home for the emergency department, I couldn't help but feel that I was moving in a direction contrary to where I actually wanted to go. I wanted to be a homemaker and learn skills that would help me thrive in that role, yet I was spending the best hours of my day and giving my best energies to another endeavor. Number 6. Being a doctor drained me. Working as a doctor is demanding in every way, physically, mentally, emotionally. After my shifts, I had no energy or motivation to pursue my peculiar interests. Oftentimes, I felt like a zombie. Some periods were so low, I went days working in the emergency department, coming home and zoning out on my phone, falling asleep and doing it all over the next day. That is no way to live. Furthermore, apart from being drained, there was the additional burden of anxiety, overthinking if I made the right medical decisions for the patients I saw. I also battled periods of depressed moods which I believed to be as a result of fatigue because the mood would alleviate after a few days off. Number 7. As I have matured over the years, I have come to realize the benevolent wisdom of the sphere that God gave women to preside in, which is the home. I knew I would have greater fulfillment as a wife and mother in keeping my home and helping my husband. I've also seen this to be true in the lives of other working women of various ages. This is particularly more pronounced as they leave their 20s and enter into their 30s, 40s, and beyond. It seems that for a lot of women, they find great joy being at home, puttering around in the kitchen, baking, gardening, taking care of children or aging parents, and building deep, lasting relationships with friends. I wonder if this is why a number of working women are falling into depression. Is it because the world of work pushes us further away from the natural inclinations of our nature and leaves us devoid of time and energy that isolates us from the people we love and need? We can't effectively and healthfully perform our home duties as women when the best hours of our day is spent outside the home. Number 8. The only constant desire of my entire life was to be a wife and mother. Throughout my childhood and teenage years, I have cycled through wanting to pursue many different careers. However, there was one consistent desire, and that was to be a wife and mother. And I think that is true for many other girls. However, that option is not usually presented to us as being a viable consideration. To be a homemaker certainly requires special training and preparation as much as any other profession. I think, even if it was offered to me as a girl, I would not have pursued it because my mind had already been trained to view success along certain lines, such as having a prestigious career. Some detractors say that homemakers are financially vulnerable, and I do believe there is truth in that. However, part of a serious education to prepare a girl who wants to be a homemaker would be to fit her with the skills needed to earn an income from the home. Oftentimes, these skills are what we as society absolutely need to live from day to day and can be quite lucrative. Furthermore, the internet has widened the sphere of the homemaker for engagement in the wider world and opened up opportunities for income generation while still being at home. Number 9. Even if I never married, I'd still quit medicine. I would quit and move back home with my parents. I would help my parents and be there for them in their older years. I would reconnect with family and be more present for my younger cousins. I would engage more in my community and church and learn new skills like I'm doing now. Would my parents have liked it? No. But they wouldn't kick me out either. Would I be mooching off my parents? No. Because I would be contributing to the household financially. Essentially, what I'm saying is that I value home, family, and community more than the salary I earned as a doctor, and even if I was not married, I would still quit. Number 10. Needless to say, women and men are not the same. Our bodies are not the same. The rigors that a man can withstand, a woman cannot, at least not in any long-term way without serious effects on our physical and mental health. Women have a monthly menstrual cycle that dictates our mood, energy levels, and motivation. Menstruation can be quite painful for some women, and this can affect our work and output, which is expected to be the same as men. It is so much more intuitive to live in such a way that allows women to adjust our daily lives to accommodate the ebbs and flows of our cycle. This is not possible in the workplace. Neither do I think the workplace should necessarily be adjusted in any major way to accommodate that, because it then becomes inefficient. Our bodies respond differently to certain stressors. Men and women have different things that drives and motivates us and contributes to making us feel fulfilled. Generally speaking, women value community and nurturing relationships and people. Men are driven by a sense of accomplishment for something tangible, whether it is for attaining physical prowess, being able to provide materially for their family, or attaining business success. Women can do these things, but it comes at a greater cost. I'm realizing that a lot of successful female entrepreneurs have actually had to pull back and restructure their business so that it allows them the freedom to take life at a slower pace and focus on starting a family. They've realized after years of hustling and building that what they built was making them miserable and anxious due to expectations from employees and mentors, and that greater business success did not lead to more happiness because it came at the expense of their time with family and fertility. On the other hand, I've observed that men, whether craftsmen or entrepreneurs or career men, whether single or married, are generally happy in their pursuit of growing their enterprise, and seem to thrive despite the mental and physical and emotional stressors that attend their pursuit. I've seen this acutely amongst the male and female consultants I've worked with. The male consultants are generally a lot more pleasant, settled, happier, and excited about what they do. The female consultants, on the other hand, were different. Some were kinda checked out emotionally. They just did their job and left to be with their children or whatever pursuits they had that made them happy. Other female consultants were quite unhappy and were a terror to the juniors. Some were very sarcastic. Others gossiped and made confusion. Not all female consultants were like this, and the ones that were more or less cool, I observed were either unmarried and/or childless. I personally believe that to be sad because at the end of your life, who would you have and what is going to matter most? Thanks for staying to the end. Comment down below if you're thinking of leaving your job to be a homemaker or have already done so. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Take care, and see you later.